Carrie Steller from MMA UK, and in the Girls Corner, and I am here with my friend Jillian DeCoursey, Jillian Lionheart DeCoursey. Jillian, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm well. It's been a while since we spoke. Lots of changes.
Yeah, it's been like 3 years or so. New gym, new place. Yeah.
Yeah. Or at least the last time I saw you was in your old gym.
Yes. Yeah, in Queens. So that was it had to be like a couple years ago. Because it was before my first pro fight.
Yeah. And I definitely saw you after that, but I just don't remember when. But how has everything been since then?
Pretty good. I mean, getting ready for a fight in a couple weeks. I'm super excited.
How is it over here at Long Island MMA? Because I know you were at a different place before and you moved, and we didn't get to talk about the move over here. How's it been?
It's been really good. It took a little bit of adjusting and adapting, but now, we got a good team going on here. We got a lot of tough people.
And you guys have a lot of girls that train out of here now.
Yeah, not too many girls that do MMA, but a few girls that kickbox, a bunch of girls that do jiu-jitsu. We got a bunch of 125ers in the guys department, so they're perfect training partners.
Absolutely, and you guys have a ton of amateurs that are on every promotion.
Yeah. The amateurs are taking over here.
Tons of up-and-comers, Long Island MMA, watch out for them, man. But you have a fight coming up in June?
Yes, June 7th for Invicta.
You're fighting Kelly D'Angelo.
Yes. Yep, fighting Kelly.
At 105, which is going to be a firefight. How's everything going with this camp?
So far, so good. We're winding down to the last little bit, but so far camp has been, it couldn't have gone better.
And, you can't pass that and say, no, a good camp is half the battle.
Oh, seriously. My weight cut's been on point. Just training in general been on point. Really, it's been so far so good. I don't want to jinx it because we still got 2 weeks left, but it's been going exactly how it needs to go.
And it's funny because there's not even funny, but there's a ton of controversy always with weight cutting. How do you get there safely and get it so you could get 2 fights healthily and actually get in the cage?
I try, and this time I actually brought somebody on board to help me with nutrition, which has been night and day difference because there's so much, no matter how much someone that does that for a living, they know all the little intricate things of just timing to eat, and it's made a world of a difference. I try and cut, as much as possible in a healthy fashion, just dieting and, training hard. And then, at the end you always have that little bit of water, but I try not to do too much because that's where it gets a little sketchy.
And it's been a while since your last fight, so you had a jiu-jitsu tournament match in between. Yes. Pro Fight to Win.
Yes, I did. That was a really random event. I did a Fight to Win match maybe about a month or so ago. It was just kind of Seth reached out and he was like, "Hey, you want to do this gi match?" I'm like, "I'm really training the gi, but why not?" And it went well. I won, so.
Is that something you might think about doing again after winning it? Because I saw it. I was like, that's so awesome. Because in between fights, when you have time off, why not do something Submission Underground or whatever?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I like that format better where it's kind of you go in, it's kind of sub only and you just do what you got to do. The whole tournament aspect is this is just not fun. But those super fight events that are all around right now are, they're the way to go. You get an opponent, you show up, you handle business, and it's fun. I actually had 2 offers for jiu-jitsu super fights in June, but I'm like, of course. You guys are going to offer me, matches when I have a fight.
Are they for after the fight?
Well,
you can't even commit then because, God forbid.
They were both for a week after, and I'm like, I want to say yes, but you never know what's going to happen in a fight. And I don't want to, I don't want somebody else training for a match, and then I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm a little beat up. I can't compete. So
say this scenario, right? You win the fight, you do really well, you take no damage. You get that phone call that somebody dropped out of one of those super fights. Would you take it?
Oh yeah, of course. Then yeah, I'm like, I'm already in shape. It doesn't matter at that point. But I'm always, I don't want somebody training for something where I'm like, I can't commit 100%. So. I'm like, that's not fair. I wouldn't want somebody doing that to me.
Yeah, no, and it's got to be hard having, long layoffs in between, even if they are a couple months or like 4 months or 5 months. How do you handle that with that? It's hard.
Oh, it sucked. I was like, and it wasn't even that. It got frustrating. You could take your little break afterwards. Okay, I got myself together. But then it was like, all right, I just want to fight. And it was just trying to find a fight was impossible. And it was, we were even looking outside Invicta, and it just wasn't. I couldn't get matched. Or people offering me things like, hey, you want to fight like next week? I'm like, I'm not making 105 next week.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing that for, a small promotion. All right, tell me like a couple weeks. Cool, we could do that.
It's true. You don't want to just take something just to take something. I talk about that all the time. I feel like knowing yourself and knowing okay, yeah, I need this time is really important and more than half the battle at that account.
Right, absolutely. And it's like you want, I definitely didn't want to have this much time between my last fight, but all right, it gives you time to work on things, and now when you go out there, you handle your business.
Well, now hearing that Invicta is going to be doing, more events, tournaments, all that stuff, I think that the atom weights will probably be next for their tournament. Typically, how many times a year would you like to fight, like an MMA fight?
Ideally, 3 to 4 times is would be great, because then it's you get enough time in between each fight, but you're not really having a long layover. It's all right, you're fighting every, 3 months, 4 months. That would be awesome. But that has not been happening.
Well, now you have another cool thing happening, which I think is awesome. You're going to be trying your hand at commentary. And I think it's really, really important. We were speaking about this earlier, that, having a life outside of fighting, but still being in the fight industry where you can make money and have a career. Tell us a little bit about this.
So this should be quite interesting. I've never commentated before in my life. So it's going to be, it'll be interesting to say the least. And we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it goes well, and, actually know kind of what I'm talking about.
And it's cool because you're commentating for the last amateur organization that you fought for ACC Aggressive Combat Championship.
Yep, I did. I would say...
or one of your last.
Yeah,
the fight before it.
Yeah, but for one of my amateur fights, I had 9 amateur fights. I think 6 of them were probably for ACC. I did most of my fights for them, so it's always nice to kind of, go back to your roots and where, who took care of you.
Yeah, I do think that's really cool, and I was really, really excited when I found out. And then you're also commentating with a good friend of mine, Mark Matthews, who is not only an awesome guy, he's a Ink Master. He was on, I think, season 2 and then Redemption. He's also a professional fighter, and a lot of people don't know that about him. He's fought for LFA, I forget the other promotions, but he's a king of the cage, super talented guy, super funny. You'll have a lot of fun with him.
Good, because he may have to carry the team, because I'm going to be at the end of my, I'm going to be in the kind of weight cut process. So hopefully we're in a good place mentally.
You will be, and I know that we were talking about you possibly one day getting a tattoo. So, Ink Master.
Yes, and I kind of have my idea of, I've had a lot kind of life stuff going on, so, I've kind of have an idea of something that I do want to do, kind of to, I guess, pay tribute to some of the losses I've had recently, and, kind of help come to terms with things and, deal with stuff.
Mark, if you're watching, we're going to have a conversation come fight night.
Yep, I have my ideas, so you could help maybe put it into work.
I got you, girl. Are you coaching or training anybody out of here at Long Island MMA?
No, right now, I don't really coach too much. It's now I'm just focusing on my training and, doing what I have to do and being, a little selfish in that sense.
That's good sometimes.
Yeah, I used to coach a lot, and it got to a point where it was becoming counterproductive, where I was spending more time doing that than being able to train for myself. And, if you want to take things to the next level, sometimes you got to step that back a little bit.
Absolutely. I feel like that's with so many things in life that can be said that, if you're not being selfish, then you're not thinking about yourself enough. And it's funny because you see those people that oh, why aren't I getting ahead? Well, don't be a jerk, but you have to think about you. You're the one that's going to, matter to yourself at the end of the day. They ain't paying your pocket, you're paying your bills,
Absolutely. And, it took me a while to be able to kind of learn that. But, right now I can always go back to coaching. I can always do that. But right now, you have a timestamp on fighting, and I want to put all my effort into that and being able to be the best I can be, and then I can give back later.
Absolutely. And who's going to be cornering you on fight night?
Actually, my coach from Ring Sport Muay Thai, Eric Ruiz, he's going to corner me. He's cornered me for
quite a few fights.
for all my Invicta fights. So it's going to be it's someone I'm comfortable with. He knows my game. He knows my style. So I've been putting in a lot of work over there, and just getting ready.
And it's funny because you have amazing hands. You do have you're just an overall fantastic fighter. And I definitely see this fight going to the ground. And I would never be foolish to ask you your game plan. But if you could say how you would see this fight going in your favor, obviously, how would you see it going? And what would be your best match and best fight?
So for this fight, I'm doing all like spinning techniques. I'm going to do like flying kicks, flying arm bars. Everything's just going to be like crazy and just out of control.
So in other words, watch out, because this is going to be one of the best fights ever, arguably. And I actually like watching them. And people don't realize, because they go, oh, the atom weights, they're small. I'm like, but they can throw themselves around. It's like being an acrobat.
Yeah, and it's super fast. It's atom weight fights. We're like, bah, 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 bah.
You guys are faster than like most divisions.
Yeah, it's like, and I mean, that's sometimes the biggest thing to adjust to, because most atom weights, we don't train with other atom weights. So then when you're training with bigger people, they're just naturally slower. And then when you go against someone your size, you're like, whoa, you're just as fast as me. What is this?
Absolutely. And actually, it's really, really, really exciting. I can't wait for this weekend. Former Invicta featherweight champion Felicia Spencer, my homegirl. Felicia, what's up? I love her. Is fighting Megan Anderson. I am really excited about that.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a good match. I'm excited for that one too.
I can tell you how I think it's going to turn out, and it was funny. Megan unfollowed me because of my opinion. I think it's going to go in Felicia Spencer. I think she's going to utilize her ground game smart.
Yeah, I think so too. Her ground game is legit.
And people think 'cause she's so tiny that it won't work out, and I'm like, you don't know. You got to for the fight game. Anything can happen, right?
It doesn't matter. But that's the beauty of like the ground game. Size doesn't matter as much.
Yeah. Are you going to be at PFL next week?
I am not, because I'm going to be training. It's like the end of training time. So.
Even at night for like the later card?
Yeah, it's that's my prime time.
But you will be able to be at the ones in New Jersey, and I could definitely get you in with me. So we're gonna have to do that, because PFL is one of the best.
Yeah, I went to one of the events last year when Chris Wade was fighting out here. It was good.
I think he's fighting the 23rd.
Yep, he's on the 23rd, but
I think he's gonna come fucking running in with that kick.
That was freaking awesome.
It's like the best highlight reel I've ever seen in a fight ever.
Oh yeah, and it gets played over and over and over. Yeah,
and every time I watch it, I'm like, I love that guy.
There's like even the memes of like the little kid doing it.
Where the woman's like,
yeah. That's awesome.
Oh, girl, I am so excited. And, you have a lot of really, really great sponsors, and me, I love to give them a shout out, because, when it gets to the top of the fight game, sometimes you can't. So why don't you talk about that for a little?
All right, wait, let me grab it, because I'm going to forget people.
Bring it.
I have a lot of people that kind of have been on
Nope,
board.
and you do that. Hold this for a second, because I'm
yep.
going to have you do that. And I just want
We're going to... Let's grab them. Okay.
I love you.
All right, so we're good?
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, so we have, I've had a lot of people that have like been just with me from the beginning, and then I've had a lot of people that just came on board for this fight. But some of the people that really kind of been with me from the beginning is Wendy with Seek Chick. She always designs my fight outfits, my walkout shirts. She takes care of me. Jasenia with JAQ Massage Therapy.
Love her.
Literally, she's like... she's fixed me. I think she fixes me like every week. Yeah, she's freaking awesome. Guard What's Yours. They kind of hook me up with my T-shirts and kind of all that stuff to kind of make sure I have stuff to train in. Great mouth guards, always making sure my teeth are kind of protected. Ian with Fighter Alias. He's been with me from the beginning. Roger Middling. He always kind of helps me out when I got to fight and make sure I got everything going. Cryo Cure, kind of hooked me up with some cryotherapy to help me recover. Athletic CBD oil. Who else we got? I think we got everybody. If I forgot anyone, I apologize, and I will give you a personal shout out. But I'm trying my best to remember.
And we'll put it in the bio.
But yes,
yeah.
I think I got everybody. My all my coaches at Long Island MMA, my coach and teammates at Ringsport Muay Thai. Rob with Long Island Strength and Performance, making sure, I'm nice and strong and my cardio's on point. And, my manager, Jason Adams with Underdog MMA, for putting everything together and kind of making sure everything that I need gets taken care of and I don't have to worry about anything.
It's great to have a great team. And Jillian, what can everybody expect out of you on fight night?
Oh, fireworks. It's going to be fire. I mean, I always, my fights are always exciting. And I mean, it's not going to be any different. You're going to, I'm improved. I'm way different from my last fight. I actually had a camp to train for this fight. So we're going to bring it, and you're going to see everything that you've seen, plus more.
And I wouldn't expect any less. And Jillian, where can everybody find you on social media?
Yep, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at LionheartJill, and Facebook is Jillian Lionheart DeCoursey.
Awesome. Jillian, I wanted to thank you so much for taking some time out of your day. I know that training's super important, especially when you have a big fight coming up. And guys, look out for Jillian on Invicta June 6th?
7th.
June 7th, 2019. Guys, watch out. It's going to be on UFC Fight Pass. Give Jillian a follow. She's awesome. She's a friend of mine. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming out.
Anytime.